Hey everybody, welcome back to Bonfire Reviews. This is Loki episode 2. I want to talk about the second episode of Loki and man, this episode, you know, I'm I'm just as disappointed in it as I was the first, And if you saw my first review, you know that technically I had already seen it, but now I'm going to talk about it. So, okay, the first thing this episode does wrong is it wastes a huge chance, and it plays that great song, "Holding Out for a Hero" by Bonnie Tyler, and I'm sorry, but I mean, why the fuck would you play that song at this point? You have these TSA agents, or is it? No, it's not TSA. TVA or whatever it is. Uh, Damn, what did they call them? They had a certain name for them, and I forgot what it was. But anyway, the TVA Rangers or whatever they called them. I know it was something. They called them something like Rangers or I don't know. But they go in to this like medieval times place, and there's a tent, and the recording comes on, and they're like, "Oh, who will save the fair princess?" And all of a sudden, Lady Loki puts her fingers to this ginger girl's head, which looks just like the fucking Flag Smasher girl from uh, fuck, what's it? Cat or Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I mean, seriously, I thought it was the same fucking actress. I mean, she is like a black girl with like a ginger look. I mean, but anyway, it plays the song "Holding Out for a Hero" as she takes down the other agents, and basically, she gets kidnapped. And I'm like, really? You wasted this song when you could have had it to, say Loki fighting Lady Loki, or, maybe Loki doing something cool. But no, you wasted it. It was such a weird moment for them to play that song. It was like we're going for a badass scene, but it's not really badass. I mean, it is the weirdest fucking thing. I mean, it really just it aggravates me that they wasted such a great song. And then basically we cut to Loki in the TVA, and basically he's talking to Southern Twilight Sparkle as a clock or whatever, and she's like quizzing him, and you know he's like, oh, I already know all this stuff, and then he goes and talks with, or well, for some reason he's reading about jet skis, and I guess Owen Wilson's character, I forget his name again, uh, he's obsessed with jet skis. He's obsessed with the 90s. Maybe because Owen Wilson was big in the 90s. I don't know. Anyway, so basically, they all get together, and Loki explains to these people. He's like, well, astral projection or whatever his cloning technique. He's like, that's not the same thing as illusions. And for some reason, they make him look at like a fucking jackass at this point. I mean, just because he knows his shit, and I guess made Owen Wilson look bad or something. He's like, "Are you done, Professor?" Like, I mean, what a fucking prick. I mean, who am I supposed to be rooting for in this show? Loki? I mean, I get it, it's supposed to be maybe an underdog, but I just can't take him seriously. You know, he's getting his ass kicked constantly. He's a joke. He, I wanted to see him kill that Hunter B-15 fucking sassy black woman. I mean, I fucking hate her character. So anyway, they go back to the Renaissance Fair, and Owen Wilson says, have you watched the videos? He keeps saying that, like, I bet you haven't, And Loki's like, yeah, I know, I've seen most of them, and they make that a joke where he's like, well, as much as I could stand, haha, it's so funny. I don't think I laughed once throughout this entire episode. It was that dumb. I watched the videos, most of them, or what I could stand, or whatever. And then they go in, and Loki, he starts spewing out this garbage. I mean, I assume, I want to think in the later in the episode that Lady Loki does say something about she was still doing something at this point while they're in the tent. And but you could tell that Loki was making shit up as soon as he said something about like, oh, I need your assurance that the timekeepers aren't going to kill me as soon as I catch this other Loki. And basically he says some bullshit about it. He's like, where wolf's ears are near, their teeth are near as well. And so it sounds like he made it up on the spot. And basically Owen Wilson's like, he's full of shit, and sure enough, he was. I mean, sorta. I mean, I honestly, like, they haven't covered it in this episode, so maybe they'll cover it in another episode. I don't know. But basically, I don't know if Loki was planning on going with Lady Loki or if he wanted her to escape. I don't know. But anyway, so I don't. I mean, maybe he was waiting to. I feel like you know Loki kind of wants the timelines to branch off and become the multiverse or whatever, but I don't know what his end game is yet. I mean, I understand Lady Loki wants that, but again, I don't know why she wants that because as we see later on in the episode, Lady Loki drops the disintegrator grenades or whatever that she's been collecting, and she has quite a few of them, like maybe 20 or so, maybe more. Because once she wires them all together, somehow I don't know how she has the power. Maybe she stole something. They don't really go into this, but she can open up specific little portals for each grenade to drop in a certain timeline, so that way something weird would happen. Like, I thought those grenades were used to blow up timelines, so I mean, I get that, they're. I feel like the end game of this whole show is, again, to create the multiverse of madness, and but I just don't get how those little, disintegrator grenades, cause that. I mean, you think if you dropped one, just one in the sacred timeline, boom, that there goes everything. So I don't know. I'm confused on that. It's very weird. I don't know if that's a mistake or if they have a reason that we haven't seen yet. But yeah, for the most part, episode two is it's really bad, just really boring. Owen Wilson, they go back. He's in the office, and for some reason, like everything in the TVA, it looks vintage. Like I said, it looks like it came straight from Fallout. And they talk in the quarters of the judge lady. I forget her name, but she's also a bitch. She's like, why do you keep leaving your glass on the table? It's creating coffee ring or like water rings. And he says, didn't I get that snow globe or something? And he says, like, didn't I get that rollerblade? He's like, that would really spruce up my cubicle. And here this bitch has this nice office, and she's like, oh, well, I approved the fucking mission, so basically anything that you collect, it's mine. And then like he calls her R Slayer, which I don't know. I mean, I get that her name is Ravonna Renslayer, but I don't know. I feel like they're trying to like make a reference to that shit that people say like like I don't get this because it's a younger people's thing, and I'm 30, so basically, I don't know what this whole, you know, queen slaying nonsense is. Yes, queen and all that, and she's slaying. I don't know. I don't get all that, but I feel like he was referencing that, like basically saying, "Oh, you're a strong woman," and just like in episode one when he's like, "I feel like I'm always looking up to you," and it's so appropriate. I mean, God, this show. I mean, as much as this show, it doesn't really have anything going for it for me. I mean, whereas Falcon and the Winter Soldier had Walker. I mean, Walker was the whole reason that Falcon and the Winter Soldier was such a great show. I mean, granted, I didn't like the preaching. I didn't like the you got to do better, and I didn't like the fact that they were trying to like stir up this whole racism bullshit. I mean, granted, there was a few scenes where Bucky and him got along. It's like, oh, we'll put the race thing aside, and that's what we need in life. We need people to just stop looking at black, white, Mexican, Asian, whatever. We just need to be known as the human race. And I don't think that day will ever come. I mean, if anyone has seen Star Trek, they should know this. This is so freaking. It's the basis of Star Trek. There are aliens out there, there are black people out there. It doesn't matter what your color or whatever you are, like whatever your, physical features are. That doesn't matter. It's your actions that matter. And, right now, our world is so fucked up. We would never make it into the what do you call it, the Federation of Planets. Because like I mean, and this was on TV like fucking back in the '60s. In the '60s, I believe. Don't quote me on that. I'm not a hardcore Trekkie, but I mean I've seen some episodes. Like I've watched like the original episodes, and I've watched some TNG, but I won't go any further than that because I didn't like Deep Space Nine. I didn't like any of the other shit. But my point is that we need to stop this whole victim mentality, and Loki, like I feel like they're trying to say like, oh, women are better than men, always women so much better than men, you know, and like it's the same with Owen Wilson when he says, oh, you can't stand it that this Loki is better than you, and she's a female Loki, so Loki must be a fucking bigot or whatever, or what do you call it? Not a bigot, but damn, what do they call it? Like a feminist or the opposite of a feminist. I forget what they call that. A misogynist. That's it. He must be a misogynist because he doesn't like the fact that there's a woman that's better than him, but. I mean, I get it at this point. They don't know it's a woman, but, that's pretty much what they're... that's the message. I get that. As the viewer, we know that it's a woman, so it's being shoved in our face. Sorry, I got shit in my nose. Anyway, so basically, Loki and Owen Wilson... They go into the fucking weird ass library that's depressing as all get out. He's like, here you go, you got a ton of fucking work. Get used or get into it and get used to it. So Loki, he starts figuring out that in Ragnarok and any kind of major disaster, there's I don't know, no time variant because nothing is left to survive. And so, he explains that to Owen Wilson by destroying his salad. And it's such a dumb joke. I mean, yeah, we get it. You're destroying his food. Ha ha ha, so funny. It's almost as bad as, like, those stupid jokes they used to make, like in Two and a Half Men or something where a character would say, like, oh, that woman is the worst, and I don't want to see her, and ding dong, guess who's at the door? It's that woman that you just said. I mean, it's not funny, it's predictable, wow me, surprise me, how about, Loki, like, I don't know, he throws the salad in his face or something, I don't know, I mean, maybe you go a little extreme, I mean, pouring salt and juice in the salad, not very funny. I mean, I don't know. It's sad, pitiful comedy. He ruins the Asian guy's juice, and, I don't know how it works around there, if you get free food or not, but from the look of it, you don't. You might get like 3 meals a day, because the way they act, it's like, hey, that's my food. What are you doing? You know, I mean, this place, it's not exactly, I mean, granted they can get food from any time, but I don't know. I just get the feeling that I mean, this is a small point. It's not even that big a deal, but it just there's little shit that I noticed, and it annoys me. You know. Anyway, let's see. Loki. They go to 79 AD. Loki. He's like, here we go. Okay, we're gonna test out my experiment. We're gonna see if any time anomalies show up. I'm gonna fuck with some shit. Just basically be random and try to get people to laugh. So he goes and frees some goats and, starts saying, hey, enjoy your meal. Oh, and he starts speaking in a foreign language. So Loki must know every known language to man. So why in the first episode doesn't he speak, you know, the language that they were speaking, when he landed in the desert and I think it was go what was it, Gobi or Gobi or something like that, something desert. Anyway, but they're like, who is this guy? And he doesn't respond by saying, I am Loki of Asgard or something. No, instead the fucking of course the TVA bitch shows up and slaps the shit out of him and I don't know, tries to act like a badass, but just comes across flat and boring. Anyway, Loki. Anyway, the what do you call it? The volcano erupts. He's saying, nobody would ever know I was here, and they get out of there. So they're like, okay, we're gonna, check every known, you know, uh, natural disaster or natural apocalypse, and turns out there's quite a few of those. Very weird that. I mean, I don't know. This is weird. Like, how are these like different timelines? And these natural disasters or natural apocalypses. So in 2050, are they saying that you know Arkansas or whatever is going to be flooded? Is that a natural disaster that's going to happen in the main timeline, or is that you know like a different branch? I mean, I don't think it is a branch actually. Now that I think about it, I think it's just the regular part of time. But I guess since Lady Loki does her little shit or whatever, shit gets destroyed, so it doesn't show up on the timeline, and I don't know. This show is so full of itself. I mean, why couldn't they just give us a simple quantum leap kind of, like, okay, Lady Loki goes to this time period, and we need, Loki's expertise because he knows what Lady Loki thinks. They're very similar. They're one in the two. So Loki, he knows how to stop her. Almost bottle or not bottle episodes, but one and done kind of episodes. I mean, I get that this show is, I guess, setting up for Marvel Phase 4 or Marvel Phase 5. Basically, you know, the timeline is going to be all out of whack, and then they're going to probably reset it, and, you know, we're going to be stuck in with new shit is what I'm trying to say. Fantastic Four, X-Men, all of them. Like I said in the last video, that it's most likely going to be their answer as to, why they weren't around when Thanos was around. And, and also, like I said, we'll probably get some old villains back that were destroyed. Like, this is their chance to basically, be like, hey, all that shit before, it's sad that we lost it, but, we can bring some stuff back. If we want to bring back Tony Stark, we can. We can bring back, Ultron, whoever, Okay, so anyway, Loki and Owen Wilson, they talk, and, they're not funny. They're in this depressing fucking library, cafe, or whatever it is. Let's see. Alright. Oh yeah, they find out about the Arkansas, and then he has to go beg and, plead and be like, let me go to 2050 to see if he's right, because the judge bitch, she controls everything. I guess she's just right under those timekeepers, which, I feel like they didn't want to call them men because, God forbid that there be men in charge, they're lizards. They're lizards, So that way they're genderless and, it doesn't matter. Let's see. Okay, so black bitch is, kind of berating everyone and, saying like, oh, we're gonna encounter the hostile, stay alert. Um, so here we have 2050 Arkansas, and I don't get it. For some reason, I didn't. I mean, is Arkansas like? I don't know my map very well. I need to look that up. But is it near the ocean? I mean, I didn't think it was. But anyway, what's weird about this is like from the outside, the rocks cart, which is assumed is like Walmart or something. It's very high tech looking, which it should be because it's 2050. But once they go inside, like everything pretty much looks modern, if not less. I mean, they got some weird like Roomba R2D2 thing moving around. Loki uses magic to dry himself, which didn't know he could do that, but we're learning that Loki can do new stuff. That's pretty much the whole point of the show is to, be like, oh hey, we're gonna make Loki a little more badass because, Doctor Strange, he could do cool magic stuff, and here's Loki, he's gonna do some magic stuff because now we have Wanda, who's the Scarlet Witch, and she can do cool magic stuff, and we still gotta introduce, what's his name, Doctor Strange's nemesis, he was in the last movie, damn, what was his name? Um, anyway, it doesn't matter. Y'all know who I'm talking about. The black guy. Can't think of his name. And for some reason, I don't understand this. The Hunter B-15 bitch says that, she wants Loki to come with her. She's not possessed at this point. But, she is adamant about it. Like, he's not leaving my side. Very strange. I don't know why she wanted him so bad. I mean, I feel like Loki would be, you know, he wouldn't get away if he was with Owen Wilson, I don't think, any more than he would with Hunter B-15. I mean, I don't know, it's just stupid. Anyway, Lady Loki starts the countdown, 20 minutes. They're walking around. She's, sees a guy over here. He's like, oh man, I'm just checking out the plants. And, it's very weird. Why are you buying plants in a... Oh, well, that's right. I forgot. He is enchanted. I was thinking he wasn't, but yeah, he was. So, anyway, I guess that's something she can do. Like, she can control people like a puppet. And, which is weird because Loki, he doesn't really have that ability. I mean, he kind of was able to do something similar with the Mind Stone, but anyway. So, she goes from that body to Hunter B-15, and, I feel like in this scene, they did okay, not really good, but, to try to keep the personality of, all of these characters similar. I feel like they probably had all the actors get together, and then they were like, okay, you mirror each other, do the same things, learn to get the feeling of how it, feels to be like Loki, where you're very, what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of not regal, but just like a massive prick. You think very highly of yourself. And anyway, so Owen Wilson, he goes in there, and I guess he's looking for Lady Loki, and there's this guard. He's a white male, and he is just the biggest fucking prick, pushing people around. He's like, he's looking for stuff, and Owen Wilson's like, hey man, these people are scared. What are you doing? And he's like, well, you just mind your own fucking business. They're gonna die anyway. I mean, really?
you gotta make it the white guy that's the asshole. I mean, I know that's the way things are going nowadays. White man bad. And they find the ginger black and white girl. I don't know what she is, tied up and spewing nonsense. And Hunter B-15, she's possessed, and she's walking with Loki around the store. And I don't know, this store, like, I mean, for it to be like a major Walmart or, like a big ass company, I mean, it looks like shit on the inside. Like, I get that there's a storm going on, but I mean, it really looks like a dollar store. Like, if you look at the shit on the shelf, like, there's nothing, like, there's nothing that looks expensive. It looks like all a bunch of cheap shit you would see in a dollar store. And they got these little name tags on, like when she takes over the body named Randy or whatever. And I don't know why she hates her name, which is a weird thing. He's like, oh, you must be Loki, and she's like, don't call me that, call me Randy or whatever. I mean, I don't know. I guess that's something we'll see later on. Let's see. Loki, he's kind of annoyed with her because, I guess this is how he acts, which sorta, not really. I mean, he acted this way a little bit before, but I mean, now he's more, like, oh, I'm a bumbling fool. And oh yeah, I forget. Loki gets his ass kicked by a random human. I mean, what's that about? I don't think the enchantment or whatever gives this person super strength. I mean, we see no evidence of that at all. Because when this guy goes to punch Loki, he hits a flat screen and just cracks it. If he was as strong as Loki, he would fucking hit that screen, knock the shelf and probably several other shelves over. I mean, it would be a hole in that screen. Because you think 50 tons in one punch, compacted. Oh, and then Loki uses a force pull to. It looks like he grabs like a waffle iron or a Roomba or something to block this guy's punch. And sure enough, yeah, the guy can't break the Roomba or whatever. So, and Loki's fighting with a vacuum cleaner. I mean, what is going on here, people? Is this man not a god? Is this, you know, does the MCU just not do its homework? Because this man took a beating from the Hulk. This man, he survived exploding arrows, just all sorts of shit. And now he's getting his ass kicked by a redneck in a Walmart. So, which is it? I mean, I don't know. It's just so stupid. I mean, come on. Let's see. So the big redneck, he's kind of taunting him, and he's like, "What do you want from me?" And let's see. Oh, here comes Lady Loki. She's got the kind of Doctor Strange hands with the glowing on it and stuff, and she's wearing. Like when I first saw this woman, I almost thought it was the one from Doctor Who, but I never did watch the female Doctor Who. I've just seen people talk about her, and like I seriously thought that's who that was because she had the same hairstyle, same build, and anyway, she's wearing her horns, but they're tiny and one's missing. I don't know. She looks very ragged, like she's been doing this for a long time. Maybe I don't know. It's very weird. And the timer hits engaged, and the lights shut off, and I guess the emergency power comes back on or some shit because like the whole building turns bright ass red, and you see all these like little time bombs that start lighting up, and Somehow, like, either she opens the portals or they're just part of the machinery. I don't know. Very weird. But it made me wonder, like, why don't, the TVA do this? They just, like, open up a portal, throw that bomb in there, and boom, you're done. And now, like, the people at the agency, they're like, oh shit, there's fucking a million timelines, they're breaking off. And, you got the nerdy white guy, he's like, oh, I don't know what to do, I'm reading the manual. And then the, like, Indian guy gets on the phone, or I don't know what he is. Looks like he's from Pakistan or something, but he knows what's going on. And the judge bitch looks like she just shit her britches, and she's gonna be badass. She grabs her baton, she's gonna go save the day, I guess. So that's pretty much the end of Loki, or episode 2. Loki, he goes with Lady Loki. I mean, I assume that's what she wanted, because she leaves the portal open. It's not like he dives in at the last minute, you know. But the thing is she waves at him as she leaves, like, bye, not gonna see you again, you know. But sure enough, she leaves that fucking portal open until he goes through. So I don't know. It's very strange. But yeah, if I had to say, is Loki episode 2 any good? No, it's not. It's just as bad and stupid as the first one. So it deserves to be kindled, thrown into the bonfire. Just burn it, send it back to hell. Because this show sucks. I hate it. I hate this show. I don't even know why I'm doing a review on it. I mean, I've seen some people, I mean, I guess it does feel good to talk shit about this show, to be like, hey everybody, look, this is stupid, are you seeing this, it feels good to, say, or like, just point out all their bullshit, because I feel like a lot of people, they don't see it, and I don't know why, like, certain people, like Jeremy John, he never. I mean, I get the guy wants to be upbeat and stuff, but I mean, he likes a lot of shit that, you know. I just feel like, it's very woke, and I'm like, no, come on, man, call the bullshit when you see it. And that's what I want to do on this channel. I want to call the bullshit out. I want people to see it. I want people to know it is bullshit, and you don't watch it. Don't give them your money, because only then will people understand. At these businesses like Disney and fucking DC and all them, whoever owns DC at the moment, if it's HBO or whoever, you know, it's garbage. Don't let them know it's good, because the more money they get, the more they're gonna keep pushing this woke, pro feminist, pro race agenda, and all that shit does is drive people apart. It's like the election, People, I had never in my life have seen people so divided on something that I never thought I would give a shit about, I never cared about politics. I never cared about, any kind of political idea. But now, me, me, like, so I'm a nobody, I don't watch the news, I don't follow the president. I think the whole thing is shit. It's rigged, If you're in America and you think your vote counts, you are a fucking retard, you know? I mean, I get it, like, you're if you listen to my video, you're probably thinking, "Oh, this guy don't know what the fuck he's talking about." But it's not true, I have seen, a lot of videos, and I know, like, they taught us in school, that basically the president doesn't matter, and your vote, it really doesn't matter. Just, I mean, I don't want to get into it, because I'm not really prepared for all that. But you know, I the way I see it is, if you're playing a game and someone says, "Okay, you get to be king, you get to make the choices, you get to make the rules, and you have the right to say, hey, do you want to give this power to someone else? Are you going to do it?" And 9 times out of 10, most people are going to be like, no, I'm going to keep the power so I can make the choices. Now, our government is just like that. You wouldn't give up power to just some random guy, just because the country, or, well, let's say 60% of the country likes this guy, The other 40%, they're going to be pissed. So right now, I feel like we're living in a time, like, it's very similar to, I don't know, like, I don't know what it's similar to, but basically, it's all an illusion, you know, the presidency, all this shit, like if you see the news, like everything out there is designed to cause chaos. And I don't know why. I feel like, I don't know, like Minutemen, that's the name, that's what they call those fucking soldiers, Minutemen. Because I remember it had something to do with time. But anyway, yeah, the news, whatever, they constantly stir this racism bullshit. Uh, I know I keep repeating myself. Anyway, that's pretty much all I have to say. I hope you enjoyed this review. We're at 36 minutes, so, or well, pretty much 37. This wasn't as long of a review as the first one. Maybe I just don't have as much to say this time. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, see you guys later, and I'm gonna work on some Dark Souls or something, and I don't know, maybe I'll do a review on something else, like, I mean, hmm, I don't know, I'm trying to think, what what's something good that no one really, I might do some old stuff that, no one really ever talks about, like the movie JFK, or, you know, Titanic, Philadelphia, some of the classics, and you know. But yeah, I'm probably gonna play some Dark Souls soon. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you learned something. I hope you know that you know I believe in peace and unity, and I would love to see the human race flourish. You know, I would love nothing more than for everybody to come together, but I don't know. For some reason, I don't know if it's just because the news or the way people are raised or whatever. Like, I mean, I see my father, like, the way he watches that shit 24/7, and it is fucking his mind up, you know. But he won't listen to me, whatever. Anyways, guys, don't watch the news. Love your neighbor, you know. Try to respect each other. Do the right thing. I don't know. I guess that's my final words. Anyways, guys, see you later. Peace out.